Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live. Ryan, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're looking fly in the Z-Man stuff. You got it all over it. Gill, Z-Man, the whole shebang.
I'm trying to take care of these people out here, Jeff. You know,
corporate sellouts we are.
Corporate sellouts. Write it down. You heard it here first.
Not quite. We got people jumping in from Facebook, YouTube. We've got, as Vinny said, the new Melones, the new Melones winners, the top finisher Anthony Garcia, and then the Big Bash winner Max Lee are on here from the Natives No Limit kickoff event that was huge from a couple weeks ago. We've been wanting to get them on, but we've got some big news to get to first. As you guys saw on the group page, we got to get into that. A lot to cover with that, and then one thing from the actual group page before the cheater scandal broke that I want to talk about too, Ryan. So, okay. But first, how was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
Fantastic. We did some volleyballing. Saturday, Kenzo won our tournament. And then Sunday, Baby Dill and Pop came up to stretch the legs on their Phoenix. So I got my Phoenix out, and we went out and got on some of the old pet smallmouth and wrecked them. we had a hell of a day. I think between both boats, there's probably, I don't know, somewhere over 20, 18-inch plus smallmouth caught. So yeah. It was a fair little Sunday on the water.
I dig it. We doing a giveaway tonight, by the way? We've got all these
I was going to ask you,
track.
Man. We hadn't done a Z-Man giveaway in a minute, right? I think it's been since like March, early March. So let's do a Z-Man giveaway.
Z-Man it is. Z-Man giveaway tonight. There it is. We'll throw them on the cover. Z-Man giveaway. Like, share, comment. You know all the things, y'all. So like and share on Facebook.
Actually share this shit, please. Thank you.
Yes, and we're going to talk, everybody's favorite subject, which is alleged cheaters tonight. We're going to talk about that tonight too.
Buddy, I would love to know if we had a poll, maybe, how many people do you know, like out of everyone in the community, are you aware personally of someone that's cheated in a kayak fishing tournament? I bet the numbers would astound you.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand. With that said, we don't want to bury the lead. We'll jump right into that. I'm going to tell you this, paint the picture for you, Ryan, if that's okay. Since this happened in my state of Arkansas. I'll paint the picture of the details I've got of what happened, and then we'll get into it a little bit. What do you think?
Okay, do it.
All right, so this happened in Central Arkansas over the weekend, and we can talk more about this format, but I think this format kind of opens some doors to this, which is there was a Major League Fishing style, no limit style event for the local club down there. These guys were just in one that we're having on tonight, so they can talk about that. But so many pictures coming in for a judge to look at, I think it'd be easier for what happened to slip through.
Yeah.
So Major League Fishing style event down there. A fellow by the name, get your pens ready if you guys want to know this. A fellow by the name of Keith Zimmerman finished in second place of said tournament, in the money, of course, second place.
Good job, Keith.
Yeah, good job, Keith. Solid. At or around the weigh-in time, some of the fellow competitors, especially one, had kind of a suspicion about Keith from a prior event, I believe. Reviewed the pictures pretty thoroughly and found duplicate pictures of the same fish. You saw the one on the page. I'll throw it up here so everybody can see it. This is the one that made the page, but there were other pictures too that could have been duplicates. This is just the one that got pushed out to me. Brought it up to the tournament director.
Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, they brought it up to the tournament director. They confronted Keith there at the weigh-in location. And I don't want to mess up the details here, but after some frustration and a little bit of arguments, he left frustrated. Later, contacted them and said, "I will disqualify myself, give the money and the trophy to the second place angler." And that's the end of the story for Keith. He's out of there. So, what do you think, Ryan? After looking at the pictures, seeing what you saw there,
it looks like the lighting is different. So clearly that fish had, if this is in fact the same fish, which it definitely appears to be by the markings, the color of the fins, the corner of the mouth is really red on this one. That kind of stands out to me. Looks like it had been held on to for a little bit there.
Yeah. So the what they suspect happened is somehow this fish was detained, as you said. It was transported along with the angler, either on a stringer, a basket, even some suspicion. I was told that a bass boat, like a chase boat, kept it in a poorly aerated live well and gave them to him to take pictures of multiple times. These are all just alleged suspicions, as Keith has not admitted guilt. He simply disqualified himself from the event.
Good idea.
Yeah. This was reported to the Game and Fish down there, or down here in Arkansas. The Game and Fish has stated basically they can do nothing about it because Keith did not take the money. Keith did not take the money, and it is not illegal to transport a fish around on a stringer if it's or in a live well. So,
but is it illegal to cheat in a tournament?
Well, as long as no money.
If he took the money, it would be. If he didn't DQ himself,
now we're talking a different deal altogether.
Dang.
So no money in hand. So let that. If you got a sting operation going, tournament directors,
make sure they're caught with their tail in the pocket, so to speak.
Yeah. If you're going to pay them out a month and a half later, make sure you get a receipt for that as well.
Hey, now that's one way. Yeah, you could just fish organizations that don't ever pay you, and then technically you haven't committed a felony. So that's good.
Yeah.
Safety net. There's always a silver lining, Jeff. But from what I read, this is not the first incident in question from said angler. There have been other instances. I read one about like he launched on private property and didn't claim to be in the tournament and was crappie fishing, and then in fact later on was in the tournament, so to speak.
Yeah, if I understand everything correctly, there'd been some, like you just said, some sketchy stuff before. Allegedly, some sketchy stuff before. So consequently, his eyes were peeled, or everybody's eyes were peeled, looking for something. Like, where did this guy come? Because apparently he's never even come close to sniffing a check. Then all of a sudden finishes second, and people know he's sketchy, so they're looking for reasons for that, and they found it.
And how much money are we talking here? What was the?
We're not talking thousands of dollars, but hundreds of dollars to second place.
What is the point? Like, why are you risking your reputation and ability to participate in a sport that you obviously like to do? Is it worth the risk for a few $100? I mean, come on.
Yeah. So it was handled by the group, the board down there in Central Arkansas. Pancake's daddy's one of the ones that caught it. He's the one that went over those picks with a fine-tooth comb. So well done with Garrett and some of the other anglers that looked into that. They've banned him, as you can imagine, from NSK and all state tournaments in Arkansas. The KBT/KFL Arkansas Hogs also dropped him, as he had a roster spot with them. Apparently they cut him today.
He's off the Arkansas Hogs.
He's off the Hogs. Yeah, dang. So I forgot that was going on, but he's off the Hogs. And anyone else that is in that region, Missouri, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas. I think he may be moving to Texas, so get ready for that. Texas.
That's a shocker. I feel like that's the transfer portal. Like, busted cheating in Arkansas, quick, move to Texas.
Yeah, and if I saw his profile, I sent a message out for comment. I got nothing back, but if I saw his profile correct, he's born in Louisiana, so he's from Louisiana. Take that, Louisiana.
Sheesh. It's all over the place, man.
Yeah. So any of you tournament directors have any questions about that, reach out to the guys in Central Arkansas. They'd be glad to fill you in more. We're just kind of giving you the lowdown of what happened, how it went down. So, Keith, have a Bud Light. Relax tonight. This one's on you, buddy.
Jeez. You can't open it with your hands. That's the trick. So figure that out.
That's it. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, bad stuff, man. I mean, we always think we've seen it all, and then the same old stuff kind of replays itself. Kind of like movies these days. They just remake the same old bull crap.
I liked it better when you drew on the fish with a Sharpie. That's probably one of my favorite ways to submit the same fish over and over again.
Yeah. We've never seen the unzipped PFD try to replay itself yet. Nobody's tried. I thought Jordan might try that one, but he hadn't tried that one yet.
He's working on it, man. He's too pro now.
Yeah. No. So who knows? Keep your eyes peeled out there. There's always, and it's not even about the money, I guess, Ryan, because that wasn't a lot of money. Is it about the clout? Is it about, I mean, what's that about?
I don't know, but Brent's taking shots at you.
That's all right. Subaru.
The
beers.
Subaru beers.
Subaru never hurt anyone.
That is a fact. A Subaru has never hurt anyone.
Safest cars on the road, right?
I promise. Yeah, I don't know. I assume it's just an ego thing. Like you're trying to prove yourself or prove a point or something. I don't know. I mean, we see it at every level of the sport, whether it's blatant breaking of the rules or pushing the boundaries with gray area stuff. Like it seems like just the competition brings out that, toeing the line in people.
Yeah. Sutton Bouch says it's about those sweet AOI points. Yes, yeah, Sutton, you can't do without those AOI
points.
I mean,
that's a tricky thing, especially this time of year with those MLF style events, because a lot of lakes, in the South are spawning right now. You could catch the same buck 2 or 3 times, literally catch it in a legal manner 2 or 3 times throughout the day, or like the smallmouth we beat on. They're, we'll catch them and they'll have 3 or 4 holes in their mouth. Like these fish are aggressive. They're fry guarding and whatnot. Like they're going to bite whatever comes in there. So then it kind of, I feel like puts the burden of proof onto the TD or the accuser or whatever it may be. How do you prove that he didn't catch it 3 times?
Yeah. And this is the thing. I don't know if I read this out of my notes, Ryan, but timestamps were hours apart.
Yeah.
And the GPS location was completely different.
Oh, just rolling in the pocket then.
Yeah. So it looked like, and with the progression of that fish's life, fading before our eyes right there, it was he was carrying it along with him,
We're just watching him slip away.
Yeah, just watching him slip into the darkness on Tourney X.
Life alert fish collar or something.
Yeah. So with that being said, it looks like, the determination was it was transported along the way. Pictures were submitted. So there you go.
Dang.
That's the deal.
Dang, Keith, brother.
Yeah. So Keith, this bud's for you. Adventure Diesel said pocket fish, much like pocket tails.
Or pocket fish. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Chris Payne said, does Tourney X still have the notification if it's within a 1/4 inch? I don't know if it does. I haven't judged in a while. But with the MLF event, you'd be getting that all day long because you got, 20 fish per angler. So I just don't know.
Unless you had it on Dardanelle, then you would only have like 4 fish per angler.
Yeah, that's the best place to have this kind of tournament. That's exactly right.
You follow, you'd only have to judge 30 fish total.
Yeah. So with that said, there's something else I wanted to get to from the group, but we don't want to keep our guests waiting. We'll talk about it later.
We'll close the show with that.
The show with that. So with that said, let's get our No Limit Power Hour winners in here.
No Limit soldiers coming.
Anthony Garcia, Max Lee, welcome to KBN Live, gentlemen.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Anthony on the road, Max in his hat. What'd y'all think of that cheater story? Y'all ever heard of some stuff like that?
That's gnarly. Yeah, no, I've never seen that.
Do y'all have cheaters in California, or is it just tournament directors that are the biggest adversaries out there?
I don't know. I don't think I've...
Yeah, Anthony, I don't know if we've
I'm sure they're
caught
here.
the snagger.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, old Mike Long, the snaggers from California. But other than that, I haven't heard any kayak cheaters.
Snagging's an epidemic out there in California, boy. They're doing that all over the place, I hear.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Wow. Allegedly. Make sure you keep that in there, man. Keep the allegedly in there. We're just reporting the news. We're not making up the news. We're just telling you what happened.
We've actually sent out an offer to Tucker Carlson to come and join KBN now that he's a free agent. So y'all might have all kinds of flavor in here.
Yeah, I've got some Western Sun and some stickers I can send his way that's left over. That's all I got.
All right, back to the tournament. Tell us about this thing. Max, you caught a fish there, huh?
I caught many fish there, not just a fish, but
this was on New Melons, correct?
If you wish to call it New Melons, yes, it was on New Melons. It was a great event that Native put out every year, and every year it's a MLF style event where it's an unlimited amount of numbers of fish, and just this year that they changed the slot limit, and it was such a hard time to catch a 12-inch fish, basically, or anything over 14. I'm sorry.
Really?
Because the limit was over 14. You could catch a ton of fish, but they were all 12 inches.
Wow.
So there's just a lot of fish.
Why is that? I mean, why is that? Is something going on with the lake, or what's the deal there?
Yeah, it's just overran with spotted bass. So it's those Alabama spots. They took over the lake and they're everywhere, basically.
You can keep them. There's a bunch of them showing up in Gunnersville right now in droves, and I'm kind of nervous that's going to affect the quality of the fishery that we're used to.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Anthony or Max, what did y'all fish this event last year, and what do you think of the native format that they got going on? Because it's much different. I know, Anthony, you've been out to the central U.S. and to the East Coast a lot fishing national events, and this is a different move to fish in something like this and win something like this. What do y'all think of that format?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, like for the 5 limit fish tournaments, you always catch a crap ton of the dinks, and luckily in this tournament, the dinks helped out a ton. So this is my first time fishing this type of format, and I had a blast. I mean, I caught over like 70 fish all day. Unfortunately, only like 21 of them were legal, but it was super fun.
Did you carry any of them in your pocket throughout the day?
Nah, I'm sure they could fit in my pocket. They were all like 14 inches, but
had a whole sack of sardines there running around.
Yeah, a spotty in the pocket probably wouldn't be too fun though.
A spotty in the pocket. That sounds nice. So this tournament was kind of unique in the shotgun launch format, right? That was how many anglers were in it? It was a huge number, especially for California.
182. I got 182 on Tourney X over here.
Yeah,
that's healthy. And the picture of that looked like an absolute melee trying to get out of the ramp.
It was nuts launching that morning.
Yeah.
Is that a state rule thing, or what? What was the premise behind the shotgun launch?
The tournament director only was able to get one, or on the permit they only authorized one launch, I guess. So yeah, that's it. Basically,
that's crazy.
Could only launch
How
after
was
that
the
one
parking?
Launch. Parking wasn't bad. Melones is an enormous lake, and I'm sure they built that parking lot knowing that they would have a lot of traffic during the summer. So, I mean, parking wasn't bad. There was a giant parking lot on the top of the ramp, and then right next to the ramp, there was another parking lot. So I didn't see people having trouble finding parking or anything like that.
Really? That's amazing. Well done, California.
Yeah, one thing right.
So how did it go? Did I see your story you write up, Anthony, that you got away from people? You went like 3 miles away?
Yeah. No, I fished a KBF event, I think, there last year, and I found a really good spot near the dam. And then from that launch, it's not even near the dam. So I didn't have pre-fish. I just went down there just based off of what I found last year. And I got down there. I was the only one there. There was no nav lights for miles, legit miles, because I think it was like 3.5 to 3.75 miles away from the launch. So I got there a little bit after lines in. But when I got there, it was basically on fire the whole time.
Have you been paid from your KBF event last year yet? Sidebar.
Yeah. I'm one of the guys that have got paid pretty quickly.
Congratulations, brother. Good job.
Well done. You're a double winner. Max, what about you, man? Did you fight the crowd, or did you get away from them as well?
No, I ran from the crowd as well. I actually practiced the day before, and I basically ran 6 miles before I even put a line in.
Sheesh.
So I didn't start fishing until almost 7 o'clock, I want to say.
Are motors
launch
legal
was at
in this
5:30.
tournament format?
Yeah.
They are? Okay. Well, did you have a motor, Max, or were you just going off pure adrenaline?
Yes, I did. I have a motor.
All right. Smart.
I'm not that healthy.
I was trying to picture myself pedaling 6 miles first thing in the morning. It probably wasn't going to go far. So,
No.
what kind of motor are you running, Max?
I'm running an XI3, but I'm running the 70-pound thrust. So I'm getting right around 5 miles ish with my big old gut sitting on it. So,
That's
it
pretty
moves.
comparable to like the 403s and the NK 180s. They're all around 5.5.
Yeah.
Generally. Are you running motor, Anthony?
I do. I was running the big water with the Minn Kota on the front of it, but I figured out how the guys are getting the autopilots to go pretty fast, and I did that. So I got the autopilot running like right at 4.8, 4.9. So that's what I'm running right now.
What are y'all doing to them autopilots out there? Souping them up?
NOS. Put NOS in.
No.
Yeah.
Hector brought them spoon engines in, boy.
Yeah.
Got them tuned up out there.
Yeah, I set you up, Ryan. I brought one of my Old Town teammates on here. You didn't know that.
I didn't know this was a setup. Damn it.
I snuck him in here. No,
That's
Anthony's been out there killing it. He wins these tournaments, so
I see that.
Yeah.
Max, when you finally got 6 miles away from everyone, what was your go-to for catching these? Did you catch a ton of little spotted bass as well?
Yeah, first thing in the morning, I had, I don't know, 5 or so bites on a wacky rig Cinco, and they kept pulling my Cinco off of the O-ring. Every single cast I would make, I would get bumped, and they would just, all these spotted bass would tear apart my Cinco and just pull it right off the O-ring, and the O-ring will come right back with the circle hook on it, and it was just a nightmare. I was cursing the entire morning because I kept missing these damn fish.
I like it. But
Yeah.
obviously you turned something around. What'd you do differently?
Nothing. I just kept throwing it. I just kept throwing it and just kept weeding through the fish, and eventually I got a bigger bite. And it seems as the sun came up, the largemouth pushed up and they were more active, and then the spotted bass just kind of disappeared. They must have pulled offshore more, and I just started catching nothing but largemouth around that 8 o'clock.
Oh wow! Yeah,
There's the one. There's the one.
There,
The
boy.
big one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
cow! So there are obviously some big fish lurking around out there too, huh?
What's
And
the
new melons?
What are they eating out there? What's the forage?
Trout.
Yep, trout, kokanee, trout.
Use a trout
Melones has
colored,
a
wacky worm.
good population of giant bass.
I see that.
Mhm.
Were anybody out there throwing them big old California swim baits around?
Yeah, they just weren't getting bit for me.
It wasn't for the lack of trying though.
No.
Dang. So one giant, absolute giant largemouth, and then just spots to kill the day with.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah,
at
no,
these.
when I got like 100 inches ahead, I put that swim bait in my hand for like an hour, but I couldn't get bit at all.
100. When I got 100 inches ahead, he said, right?
Yeah, that's a good time to start experimenting a little bit. When I get like 5 inches ahead, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just do something different. Let's see. Maybe I should wait till 100 from now on. That'd be a good time to shift gears, I'd say.
That's the trick. So, what were you doing, Anthony? Max said he was throwing that wacky rig. You were on these long Alabama spots. What were you targeting with?
I was throwing the 2.8 kite on suspended fish in 22 feet of water.
The scope? Scope?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got kind of lucky. I was fishing this culvert in like 30 feet of water on the dam, and then these 3 older gentlemen in a V-hull low came and parked like, I don't even know, like 10 feet from me and anchored down and started throwing minnows right at my kayak, and I wasn't having that, so I bumped out of there. I didn't feed into their negative energy. I just left, and luckily came up on a tree that was stacked with fish right on the dam, and sat there, lit it all day.
That's crazy.
Trying
Why are
to-
they throwing minnows at you? Is that a common occurrence out there?
I don't know, maybe NorCal. I'm pretty sure it's illegal down where I'm from, but I don't know, even know where. Can you get them up there, Max?
You can get minnows up there.
You can?
I don't know. Yeah, you can, but I've never had that happen to me, so I don't.
Yeah.
I
have
don't know.
I got it on video, and I was gonna post it because I posted this whole tournament on video, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna give these guys some airtime on my YouTube channel. I didn't put them in there. I posted them on my Instagram.
were they assault minnows? Did they have to get like a special permit to have those?
Yeah, no kidding.
Wild out there. Y'all are in a different. I feel like it's a different
Yeah,
planet.
you
in
need a permit
California.
for pretty much anything out here.
So how do you feel like this whole event went down? Was it pretty manageable even with that many people and that many fish being submitted?
Oh yeah, I don't know how they did the judging. They had to have multiple judges. I don't think with all those fish, one person could have did it, but you never know.
Here's the crazy thing though, Anthony. You're talking about that, and Ryan.
Yeah.
It says 585, which isn't really that many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For 182 anglers.
Yeah.
And once I get past you guys at the top, like down past 70, the next 110 people, it's 1 or 2 fish a piece. Is that the slot that caused that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's definitely the slot. Yeah. There's way too many 12 inches that were being caught. I heard some guys say they caught like 100 12 inches in the day. So that 14-inch slot just kind of kicked everybody's butt, you could say.
Okay. So it wasn't people just straight not catching fish. They just weren't getting those 14s.
Yeah. There's too many small fish.
Yeah, if it was the 12 inches and up, there would have been thousands of fish uploaded.
I got you.
Well, it's good that they put that slot in place. Then good looking out on that one.
They knew.
How does New Melones set up? Like, what kind of lake is it for us southern folks that don't get out of the area here?
Shit. I mean, I fished a good handful of your guys' lakes over there, and I mean, I don't think I found a lake yet that resembles that thing. It's just a deep reservoir.
So
it's just a Highland. It's just a Highland reservoir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, Anthony, from what Abel says, is you beat him into submission. Once they saw you at 200, everybody just gave up. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on here?
I had a lot of people tell me that they saw that during the day and weren't happy.
How fast were you on him like that?
Abel fish this tournament? Abel still fish? You still fishing out there, Abel? I didn't even know. I thought he turned in his drop shot. I ain't seen him in a long time.
Pleasant. Hey, there you go, Ryan. There he is right there. Abel at 32.
Okay, all right.
32
good job,
out of
Abe.
182.
Good job, Abe. I'll see at Seminole this weekend.
Yeah. How fast were you on him, Anthony? Max said his largemouth turned on when the sun came up, but were you on a big limit pretty quick and like demoralizing everybody, or how'd that go?
I think by 10 o'clock I was close to 200. I think.
By 10.
And what was close? What was close to you by then? Was that the 100-inch lead at 10 o'clock?
It had to be. I think when I got like in the mid 200s, that's when I was at over 100.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty nuts. I would catch them for like a good solid 30 minutes, and then weeding out the dinks, and then I left it, let it rest, and came back, and they were just fired up again.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sitting here trying to figure out who won the hourlies. Obviously, Max, you won the overall big bass and one of the hourlies. Did you pick off any of the hourly prizes, Anthony?
No, I tried, but no. And I think my biggest fish was like 17 something, and that ended up winning one of the hours. So I was kind of upset about that.
It's funny looking through here. There's a lot of 15, 16, 17s, and then boom, there's a 22. Boom, there's a 24. Kind of sprinkled in. And something that kind of flew under the radar was that Vinny and those guys announced more hourly sponsors on top of the money just a week or two prior to the tournament, right? So like Huck sponsored an hour, Yak Attack, Bending Branches, NRS, Yakima, Dakota.
I'm pretty sure everybody got at least 500 plus on top of their 1,000 from Native.
Yeah. So $1,500 an hour. And then what was the overall prize? The overall was a couple. Did they give you guys a boat for the overall prizes too, or was that just a raffle?
Yeah, no, Max and I got kayaks from Native. And then they ended up raffling one too, I think.
Yeah, it was big bass in the winner for a new kayak, and then the raffle was also a kayak.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was the environment like after the event? Did everybody stick around? Was it kind of a big party at the ramp situation? How'd that go, especially with everybody at one ramp?
The parking lot was pretty full, I think. I don't think a lot of people left. They all sticked around for the awards. It was pretty cool.
And a lot of these, like part of the Cali tournament fishing culture is kind of like the, camping out, like everybody at a campground or whatever, cooking out, hanging out, that kind of thing. Tell us a little bit about that for the folks that aren't familiar.
I'll let you. I mean, I don't know. I didn't partake in anything like that.
Do you have any friends, Max? Do you
Anthony's out there. Anthony's out there wrecking 300 inches. Don't give a damn about nobody.
Anthony just goes straight home. He ain't even talking to nobody.
No,
I mean, that was a pretty far drive, dude. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man, Havasu driving home. Go ahead, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we camped out, but I mean, I was so tired from pre-fish, I just knocked out. So there wasn't really any fun times. It was just go fish and then go fish again tomorrow.
Abel, did you have a fun time? Did anybody in California have a fun time? Y'all just make.
No, there was a
place
lot of
hurt
people
my feelings,
partying the night before. Yeah, for sure.
Is that the 70th place down with one fish each? Is that all the people that was partying? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I don't know. I know there was a big party at the campsites the night before, and then I heard there was a crazy on the night of. So
that sounds bad. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all try to downplay the culture out here.
Yeah, Aaron Mathis is confirming that.
See,
they had some good times.
Okay. Aaron was in there with the right people. I see how it goes.
And she was still up early enough to live stream the wild takeoff. I should have had that video.
I saw that.
I should have had that video pulled up. I'm slipping over here. That was amazing. Yeah. Any questions for either one of these guys? Please put them in the comments, and we will ask them. I'm curious about. I heard what you said about the Alabama spots being transplanted out there. I guess I had no idea they were doing that kind of thing. I know the Florida largemouth get transplanted all over the country, but what's up with the Alabama spots getting transplanted out in New Melons? How long have they been doing that?
I honestly don't know the history behind it. I just know that they were thrown in there. I'm not sure as to why. Because because there's a lot of lakes along the northern part of California that have Alabama spots, Buller's Bar and things like that with those giant 10-pound spots.
So that's the breed is growing into those double-digit size spots out there? Okay, I didn't realize.
Yep, the Alabama spots.
Okay, the more you learn.
But it damages the rest of the fish population. So I guess that's a trade-off. Do you want to grow giant trash spotted bass or do you want to have a good fishery?
Yeah.
Dang, that's tricky. What's your favorite lake, Max, in Cali? Your favorite lake to fish?
My favorite lake in Cali it's a really tiny lake called Eastman. It's a trophy. It's basically like a mini Lake Fork. They used to set a slot limit on it, a 22-inch slot limit where you can only take one home or take one fish. I don't recommend taking it home, but you could keep one in the live well. But they've now thus changed it to back down to your regular 12-inch limit. But last year I was out there and I was hammering 6 10s, a 13. So,
what?
Yep, that's my favorite lake.
He has it on video too, right?
6 10s. Is that what you just said?
I had a total of
10s, or are you saying
sixes through 10s.
Oh, okay.
I had a total of 4 10-pounders last year, and the 13 would kick it to 5, and one that was I didn't weigh it, but it was probably right around 9 to 10.
Holy smokes! And you have a YouTube channel too? I heard Anthony say, "Did you record all that, or you had that recorded?"
I didn't record any of that. Because I didn't want to show anybody it, so I didn't record any of it.
That's smart.
I could have swore you had one of those catches on video.
No, it was just a small one, like a 5 or 6 or something like that. Yeah,
little 5 or 6. I'll jump out my boat.
5 or 6.
I'll jump out the boat for a 6-pounder in Arkansas. What are you talking about?
Marv, there's Marv. See,
Dang.
I thought Marv was going to be on here tonight cooking for us with his grill hanging off the side of his kayak.
Yeah, well done out there, Marv.
He's hyping you up. He's saying Max is a sniper on the big bass. You do it on purpose.
and just get lucky.
That's all right. That's part of it. A couple questions. Randy said, "What's so special about the Alabama spot strain?" They're coached by Nick Saban. That's all I know.
No, I mean Alabama spots are they grow larger, I believe. Like Kentucky spots are the really small, trashy fish. They're short and fat mostly. You don't get a lot out of them. Like a big Kentucky spot is like 20 inches on the Tennessee River. The Alabama spots they'll get long and large, up 6-7 pounds. A lot of people target them on purpose. The Coosa spots, especially down there, a much bigger, more hardy form of the spotted bass.
Yeah. On YouTube as well, Joe Mack said, "Could you guys see a tour with this format, having 6 to 8 events a year? Would that take some of the mystique out of it?" I'm assuming you mean like an AOY portion, because there's already a quote tour. I guess there's 7 events this year, but there's no event to event point chase. It's just individual opens, standalone events, which I kind of like that exists. What do you guys think, Anthony and Max? You like this as a trail idea?
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, there's already a handful of events across the United States already, so they added the AOI to it. I don't know. I don't know if it would hurt it. I think it'd be pretty badass chasing that.
Numbers.
I think it'd probably get more people to join.
Well, so that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. How many people do you think would participate if there were that AOY structure or maybe a championship type deal that you were qualifying for? I don't think it would pull less because of that myself.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely get more people to join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being standalone. I think one of the big draws of it is the hourly payouts. You could probably get people out that don't even really kayak fish or tournament fish much and just say, "Hey, come throw your money down. You might win an hour." You know what I mean?
No, this tournament I think had quite a handful of new kayakers out there just chasing that $1,000.
Yeah.
That's why Abel was out there, I think.
Came out of retirement.
He was just out there swinging for one big bite, which is good. I mean, we see that stuff, especially on the Tennessee River, like Gunnersville, Chickamauga. They'll always have like the big bass splash or whatever, and you'll have 300, 400, 500, 600 boats enter that thing, and it's just dudes running everywhere, throwing the craziest stuff, trying to get one bite, and you can go flip a sinker and catch 7 pounds.
Is that when you see all the fishing skis and all the different boats that really don't bass fish a lot out there, Ryan?
That's when you see 8 idiots in a row following each other down the same stretch of docks. Like they're just like a conveyor belt, like doot, 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 just flipping glide baits on docks all day.
Yeah, we've had Vinny and those guys on before talking about this, and I think it's a great option for folks, because one thing that we've lost during the pandemic and after the pandemic, and Ryan and I have beat this horse to death, is we've lost the gathering aspect of it, other than just a few groups that kind of do their own thing. The pandemic forced us to have no more captains meetings or weigh-ins for that matter. And we got so used to that a lot of people keep doing it. Or even when they do have a meeting, they don't want to stay. They just bust out of there and head home. And I get that, but I feel like these one-offs could kind of bring some of that back.
Yeah, I would love to see the social aspect come back into it a little more.
Yeah, especially when these events are Saturday only. So Saturday night you can do whatever, then get up Sunday and go home.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think incorporating a little entertainment into it would be good. Be it a band or just live music in a cornhole tournament or something like that. Touch tunes, karaoke, something. Do something, man. Come on.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
So what are you guys fishing out west? I mean, outside of this event, I know you guys are both very active out there in the tournament scene. What's going on out there this year? I know the Wild West Bass Trail out there, Kayak Bass, Tim Arthur and the boys with California Bass Nation. Where are you guys focused at out there?
Go ahead, Max. I'll let you refer.
Okay. I do Kayak Bass. I do some of the local clubs around here, Central Valley Kayak guys, and pretty much I do all the local clubs, starting from the Central Valley all the way up to the NorCal guys. And I don't personally do the California Bass Nation stuff yet. I'm just, because this is my first official year in the kayak tournament scene. So I was just dipping my feet in, and I just happened to get a boat.
just happened to crack a giant bass in a tournament and win some money.
Yeah.
Just out here catching 10s, 13s, and winning money. I like it. Anthony, what about you? I know you fish out there, but you travel around a little bit too.
This year I don't know. I'm trying to fish everything. I was supposed to go out to Seminole, but that's not gonna happen. But I'm gonna fish the local stuff here in Cali, the ABA, the California Bass Nation. I'm just gonna fish their TOC just to try to qualify for the championship out your guys' way next year. And then a handful of the other big events. I'm gonna try to hit a couple of the Bass Nation events, the next Hobie. I don't know what the next Hobie is. Next month, I think. I'm gonna try to get to that guy, and then KBF still.
You coming to Kentucky Lake? I think that's.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try as long as it doesn't interfere. I gotta look at the dates again. I think it lands right on the TOC for Bass Nation for California.
I got you.
If it doesn't, then I'm definitely gonna be there. But if it does, then I'll hit the next Hobie.
That one will be entertaining. We'll have fun after hours. I don't know how the lake will fish. Kentucky Lake's been stingy the past few years, but you may be able to get out there and get on a big spotted bass bite, and those 14 inchers cash you a check.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the last time we were at Kentucky Lake, I had a blast on the second to the last day. So.
When's the last time you were out there? Was it National Championship?
Yeah. Yeah, my pre-fishing sucked, but then I figured something out as the tournament started and wish I would have found it earlier.
Let me ask you this, Anthony. You talk about, you said you're going to fish some more KBF, obviously. And didn't you win Rookie of the Year for them last year or the year before? Or something like that? What'd you win?
No, last year I won the California, I don't know what it is.
You won something for them.
Champion or something like that.
Yeah, I know you fish some of their stuff, and their troubles are aplenty as of late.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are they going to survive? Because they're canceling events, payouts are getting slower. What do you think is going to happen there?
I mean, I hope so. I have a blast fishing their events. I hope so.
I've heard people on the east, up northeast, and out west both say they hope so because it's the only ones that really touch them from a national perspective. But I just don't know. It seems like it's circling, spiraling out of control. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. It's tough.
Do you feel like there's room out there for, there's obviously a couple more organizations. Do you think there's room out there for one of them to touch you?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not cool with anybody touching me, but
uninvited.
Uninvitedly. But yeah,
how could
Hobie
Tim Arthur touch you?
Bass Nation needs to come out here on the West Coast for sure. I think if they hold like a Delta or Clear Lake event, they'll get a lot of people to come out here from Arizona and even Texas. I think for Clear Lake.
So I know a guy.
Come out here.
I know a guy that's involved with this bass stuff. I'll go ahead and tell you. And I mentioned in conversation, it may be time to look back to the West Coast for an event. Like I think everybody kind of saw what happened. Like if you shun these big events, like guess what happens? They just don't come back. So I think there might be that kind of, appreciation for the opportunity, because I think there's a ton of great anglers on the West Coast that are now forced to travel 14, 16, 20 hours to fish a tournament to potentially qualify for one of these big championships. So I think everybody's awake, facing forward, like, hey, we have to fish these big events if we want to continue to give ourselves this opportunity to qualify for something bigger.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think the state Bass Nations are going to fill some of that void, I hope. Like what Tim's doing out there with California Bass Nation and some of these other states that don't get as many events. At least that gives folks the opportunity, if they want to qualify for the Bassmaster Kayak Series championship. It's not the classic, y'all.
Yeah.
Championship. It's championship at the classic. So that's a thing that can fill a void. But yeah, I get that. When you live on the far outreaches of the country, the opportunities aren't as plentiful. You got to do some driving or flying or whatever to get to the events.
And I don't like that.
Definitely some long drives.
We got a little crew of friends out in California, and I liked it, man, when it was always a big deal, you know, when they would come out to fish whatever championship or big event that they qualified for. It was always just, you know, we'd get a huge house and it was, you know, fun hanging out and catching up and spending time with those guys every week. So I want to see us reunite California to the rest of America here and get y'all back in these big tournaments, please.
If you guys show up like you did for the native, I think this native event opened the door. I think it opened the door back up. It opened some eyes for some of these other groups. Like, hey, it can be done. How about that? So hopefully that's the case. I'm not saying I'd make that trip, but I think it'd be cool, you know, to get out that way and fish some of those legendary lakes, because you guys have them every year when that magazine comes out dropping the best lakes in the country. There's always a couple out that way that make it, but they don't, you know, obviously fall on the schedule very often.
What if they hosted a classic out in California?
Wow,
that would kind of force them to come out there or come out here.
I listened to a podcast about that. They said that, I think it was in Sacramento, and it was like the biggest, one of the largest attended events they ever had. People were going nuts that it was just a great environment for the classic when they did have it out there one time. So who knows? Who knows?
I've often wondered how that selection process works, because it really seems, and I know that the money that these cities put up is a big influence, obviously, and having a large enough venue, which California has big cities, they have big venues, like, you know, putting that piece of the puzzle together shouldn't be hard. I don't know how they keep going back to the same cities, I guess, like Knoxville, you know, fishing Loudon over, like, that's not a destination lake for, I don't think, anybody on earth to go to Fort Loudon, but Knoxville does really well. It pulls a huge crowd. It makes a lot of money for the city, and, you know, the people that are visiting just as the expo have a good experience. But I think, you know, it would be cool to see something. Fort Worth was amazing. We went to that one. That's when Marky Mark won it all. Like, that was cool, but I think California has a ton of great venues that could host that. Obviously, it has a lot of good fisheries that you could put it on as well, so I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that at all.
Abel said these cities out here don't need the money. It's a burden, if anything.
Okay, Abe, damn.
Is that true?
Jeez.
They raking in that tax money already? They don't need the money? What's the deal?
Shit, I don't know.
Shit, I don't know. I'm just trying to catch fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't know. It is tough, and I know that on the pro level of the bass boat side, there's a reason all these guys that are from the West Coast that love their homes on the West Coast end up moving to Tennessee and Georgia and all that. It's just because they have to eventually. I mean, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. Levi says they don't care about the fishery as much as the facilities to be able to host these larger events. That's true. Some of the facilities, but I think Steve Fields said a little bit earlier, I think money talks when it comes to the big events.
Oh, it does, but I mean, there's probably 30 cities in Cali that have just convention centers alone big enough to host, you know, something like that. California's on a different level as far as population control and amenities go. Like, these cities have 2 NFL teams in them. Like, there's plenty of places to stick stuff.
If New Melones held 182 anglers with no problem at one parking lot, I think they do have the infrastructure to probably handle it.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Somebody said Nevada next. I don't think Nevada even has a lake. I'm not sure.
They have water in Nevada?
I think they pipe it in from California or
That's
Arizona
Vegas,
or something.
ain't it? Ain't that where Las Vegas is?
They have Lake Mojave, I think. They got some killer smallmouth fishing over there on the Nevada side.
Okay.
We're on the way.
Are they Tennessee smallies?
What's that lake they ran out? Lake Mead. They ran it dry and found all them bodies and barrels and stuff. That'd be a cool one to fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they got all their water back too with all this rain we got.
Okay. All right.
Ryan Murphy said taxes may be an issue, and anglers get taxed from out of state. In the politics of it, I don't know about any of that.
I could definitely see some of the hosting and regulations part being a factor in that, because I think Cali's probably leading the way on all the stuff that y'all have to do. I feel bad for the tournament directors that try to put on these events just from all the permitting and authorization stuff that they have to go through out there.
Oh, Lake Tahoe. I forgot about that. Tahoe is partly in Nevada. There you go. Randy Creason says if Tulsa, Oklahoma can host a classic, I think Cali can pull it. He's exactly right. the thriving metropolis of Tulsa.
We will see what Tulsa's about, man. I'm interested
Well,
to see how the Bass Kayak side shakes out in conjunction with the Classic where it's hosted, and if there is a big road trip out to the Res again.
Well, if I see some folks that are from my region in the comments, would y'all be cool if it was on a place like 10 Killer, the championship? Is that big enough to hold it? Let me know in the comments if you think 10 Killer would be good.
Well, and
I
keep
think
in
it would
mind
be.
the Bassmaster Championship you have to qualify for, and it's a much more stringent qualification process this year than years past, where they gave out spots to affiliate clubs, state championship, basically whatever they could to fill the field. Now, with this shift, they're trying to make it much more of a true elite championship and less like an open. So
Yeah,
I don't think you'll see. It's not like you're going to see 300 anglers out there. I don't think there'll be over 150 or 200 qualified, honestly.
Yeah, it's even harder to get in through your state clubs now. It's not just like you said; it's not a giveaway anymore. Randy agrees with me, Ryan. He says 10 Killer would be perfect. 10 Killer's full of those Tennessee strain smallies, so it'd be perfect for Ryan.
Okay, I'll bring the old fish food out there.
Yeah, plenty of lake. James is right. There's plenty of lakes over here good enough for it, so that'd be good. Downtown Tulsa, I feel it might disappoint you, Ryan. So carry heavy weaponry when you come over. So.
Really? Is that right? Strap up, huh?
Yeah.
West Memphis.
I think sort of Memphis-like in part of town.
Okay, perfect. Hell yeah.
But still, good times to be had around there.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
All right. So we'll see.
How
Any
far
more questions?
Is it from Hochatown? Can I drive there?
Nah, no, you won't make it.
Wrong end of the state? Well, you won't make it.
You won't make it.
God dang. All right. Okay.
You won't make it back from the Res, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Man.
Oh, man. All right.
Kevin Will says Kentucky Lake is back with new and improved smallies. Top 2 bags in Toyota, all smallmouth. What do you know about that, Ryan? You heard that rumor?
I know when the floodgates were open, they were catching some really good bags. I've been kind of watching the weights, and it looks like around 20 pounds springtime bag, so not that impressive for me.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess being next to Gunnersville and Chickamauga here kind of skews your view of what the Tennessee River should look like. I saw Pickwick showed out pretty good in that college event. Ewing cashed him a check in an actual boat. How about that? Look at Ewing getting up there. I think he was 15th. Young Jackson Orr won the Tennessee Bass Nation event this past weekend on Cherokee. And speaking of Westerners, Jeff Sherwood went down and crushed him in the West Texas event. Won the event. I think he won Big Bass too. He sent me a picture of a absolute giant out there. So a lot of the boys doing work on the events. We'll see what Kentucky Lake has for the kayak guys. I think it's a little different ball game when you're running around in a bass boat. You might be able to bump into 5 big smallmouth, but we will see.
Hey, we're going to let you guys slide out of here. I know Anthony's on the road. Max, we appreciate you joining us. But Joe Mack on YouTube's asking, let's get some YouTube channel names before you go. So let's hear him. Max, you said you don't have one, or you don't have one that you post your big fish on?
I do have one. I just didn't post last year.
Okay.
It's just my name. Just type my name in the search bar plus fishing, and you should be able to find me. Kind of like Greg Blanchard. I keep it simple. I'm not a creative guy, so.
You're creative enough to catch big ones.
Don't oversell us now. Don't oversell us, Max.
Yeah. So, and Anthony, I know you got a good channel going over there.
Yeah, just G Team Outdoors, G Team, and then Outdoors, and it should pop up.
Hey, were you able to get this to stream to yours tonight or not? That's a new feature that the
I did the whole option. I haven't gone to check if it's streaming actually or not.
Hopefully it did.
But it says it's streaming on G Team Outdoors, so
very cool.
I guess we'll check it out after this is over.
Yeah, that's cool. That's something new that our software is letting us do, which is if our guests have a channel, you can stream it to your own channel, which is nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool
for your folks. So there you go. All right, guys. Hey, we appreciate y'all. We're gonna let y'all slide out of here and we'll wrap the show up. But
good
congrats.
job. Thank y'all for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There you have it. Max and Anthony, 2 hammers from out west. Well done, gentlemen.
California
love, as the song goes.
That's what I say.
Yeah, we've got the giveaway to do here in a minute. There's a few things I wanted to touch on before we left. I keep saying touch tonight, Ryan.
I know. Tonight's a very touchy feeling night.
Very touchy. Somebody asked, Mark Cawthorn asked for a update on Roro in the comments. So
let's hear it.
everything is going well. Lab work's looking good. Numbers have dropped drastically for all her cancer markers. Tumor has shrunk almost 50%. She had another chemo treatment last week, handled it like a champ back home. She goes down very soon to Little Rock for another, it's basically like a PET scan to look at any of the tumors that you can't see easily on a CT scan. And they're also going to do another bone marrow biopsy, some other tests to see how things are now compared to when they first diagnosed everything. But all things considered, she's kicking this thing's butt. So we're going to keep the prayers going that she keeps doing that. So appreciate you asking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate you asking, Mark. And then the other thing, Ryan, at the beginning of the show, I said I wanted to add one more thing on at the end. Brad Case. He put up the poll about published lunches, but I think he meant launches.
I got a lot of laughs out of that one.
Yeah.
I'll say. I pictured Brad just asking like who's got the lunches. Like that's where my mind went.
Yeah. So I'm 100% on board with these published launches, man. I think it's a cool thing. I think it's been great. I love that I can put them on my Google Maps and they're just there and I can move ramps throughout the day without having to do any looking. I mean, it's cool.
I read a lot of the comments and I understand some of the arguments about, doing the research and finding the ramps and stuff. And I think that's kind of on the TDs to determine the size. I don't think they should put every public launch on there. I'll say that. I don't think, these little maybe backwoods slide off deals, like just because you know about it doesn't mean everybody else knows about it like that. And I'm not saying that for the tournament. I'm saying that for the guy that doesn't give a shit about tournaments, that likes to go back in this creek and have a good Sunday afternoon of fishing or whatever. I think TDs need to be cognizant. I read, one of those on Hartwell, like I've never seen anybody here at this ramp. And then I go there and there's 20 trucks at the ramp. So now there's 20 more people that know where this spot is because it was, it was put on Google Earth. I think you kind of have to narrow it down. I know they try to make sure there's enough launches for the amount of anglers that are in the tournament. And I think you have to, admit that and be aware of it. But I think, some of these little pull-offs and backwoods kind of stuff can be left off. I think the proximity to the main lake needs to be taken into account too. But overall, I think it really legitimized and took a lot of the question marks out of, are people cheating? Are they getting dropped off way up a tributary where there's not even a launch, but they just got dropped off by somebody driving by? So there's no way to even prove where they launched at. How do you know if it's public or private? All you know is where you saw them, on the main lake. Like I think it eliminated a lot of that stuff. And I think it's really changed the shape of what we see now in the top tier of kayak tournaments.
Yeah, I love it. I think it was a perfect change. I think it was needed. I'm like you, though. I think you don't want to narrow it down so much that you're burning little spots for people that where only one or two people can launch. But at the same time, a lot of times it's those guys that are submitting those spots to the TDs to put them on there. So don't do that to yourself.
And I don't like, that's another thing. Like, as an angler, like just because you want your spot to be on the list or you think you've got the edge because you can launch here, you just gave your spot away to 190 or 220 or 230 other people. Like the spot that you launched out on Gunnersville, when I drove by and I saw Jackson launching there pre-fishing, I was like, ain't no damn way that is on the launch list. And I pulled it up and I was like, it is. Like I thought in my mind, and this is me, I thought that it was going to be like ramps, like actual ramps only. And that was the first bass event. So that clued me into that. So
yeah. So I think that ramp that you saw me at was a trick by Steve Owens to get somebody.
Well, I didn't say there was fish there. I was surprised that it was a legal launch. I was also surprised you launched there to try to find a fish. So
yeah, that's terrible. I did. I found a fish. Found a fish there.
A twofold surprise on that one.
Crazy. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I think it was a good change, but it was a good poll that he put up there. I wish he knew how to edit his post, but maybe I don't wish because I do like that I got to see lunches over and over and over.
It's funny.
Yeah. But that said, man, wait, we do need to announce, we didn't talk about Gill yet, right? You told me
we didn't talk about Gill.
Put that up. We got Gill on board. You made that announcement earlier in the week and we've got a code for him. I think I got it.
We did. Do you have the code?
I think so. Let me get this thing
You
rearranged
do.
here.
You do. I just checked. You do.
There it is right there.
That. So, starting at the first of the month, it is not active right now. So don't run over there and try to buy whatever Gill stuff you want. But in case you don't know what Gill Fishing is, they make high-end rain suits. Jeff was complaining after Chickamauga about needing high-quality rain gear. I've been talking back and forth with Gill for over a year now, trying to get this done. We met with him at the Classic and finally, got this partnership hammered out. We looked at their products, looked at the quality. I've used Mustang forever. I won't hide that. I think Gill has equal or better quality rain suits. So we worked with these guys and got it hammered out and made the switch. Here's your code. That's 25% off. That's for anyone, anytime. We're going to work on some giveaway stuff, obviously, but 25% off for, high-end rain suits. You go to the Gill website. Any regular price stuff is 25% off, and that includes anything from the most expensive, $500 rain jackets to T-shirts, hats, socks, shorts, shirts. They make it all. So go check them out. Gill Gear. You can use it starting the 1st, and that's going to be good through the end of the year, and we will renegotiate after that. But hopefully it's only going to go up from here.
There we go. Good stuff, Ryan. And yeah, I'd have won that tournament if it wasn't for the rain. That's what I think. So now you got me fixed up.
We're trying, man. We're trying. And again, like that, what I told them, like as we were negotiating through all this stuff, was like, we appreciate our listeners. They're what keeps us kind of doing this stuff. I don't think if we didn't have this engagement from our audience, Jeff, we probably wouldn't waste every Monday night sitting here. But
that's right.
The idea is to give back to you guys. So we've tried to really step it up this year. Revo has always helped us with the giveaways, but pulling in Seaguar, Z-Man, Gill, just trying to get more and more to give back to you guys for supporting us because we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and Joe Max said 25% is a chunk. You're right. Their rain suits are high end. When you're talking a $300 or $400 piece of apparel, there 25% is you're talking a bunch of dollars, hundreds.
You're
of dollars.
Basically all pro staff now. I'm not saying get it tattooed, but you could probably run a sticker.
Yeah, you're KBN pro staff. So put that on. Put that on yourself.
Between all the
discounts, you're all part of the cesspool squad. You've all been Titan Tungsten pro staff for like 3 years. I've applied the whole group and it was accepted. So now you have many more on your list. Yeah, well done, man.
We got
to do the giveaway.
We have to do the giveaway. Chase just updated me. Koozies and stickers be shipping pretty quick here. I'll post those once the F This Lake memorabilia comes in. I just submitted over the shirt order, so that will be popping out soon. For those of you that did respond and ordered a shirt, check your emails. I will send you a bill.
All right, so we're doing that Z-Man giveaway tonight. Of course, our guests are from out west, so West Coast, hashtag West Coast in the comments for a chance to win. We'll give it a little bit to pile up entries in there, get you a Z-Man pack. Good stuff, man. I love
Revo winner. He posted. He got his product in.
Oh yeah.
Hope you're pleased with that. We appreciate your participation.
I'm like you, Ryan. I'm so thankful for all the folks that watch and support this, and it's so cool that we're able to get these companies to be able to give back to them every Monday night. It makes it more fun for us.
Just getting started. We're just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Bunch of West Coast coming in up to 55. We're running about 124 live viewers right now, so we'll give it a little time to give everybody a chance to get that West Coast in there. For those,
and I don't want to misspeak, Jeff, and correct me if you know that I'm wrong up front. I think this is our highest watched West Coast episode where we've had anglers outside of Greg Blanchard doing content creation episode. But I think this is our highest attended West Coast episode. So congrats, guys. Good job.
I believe it is. That's right. And as you're putting in the hashtags, make sure you did share the stream. And if you're on YouTube, just hit the like button over there. And
I said that as a joke last week, because we just try to keep people on their toes. I went and looked, and it was like, your stream was shared 3 minutes ago, 1 minute. Minute ago after we got out there. Y'all are slick, but we're watching, all right? We're on you.
Johnny, put your name in there, brother. Don't worry about it, man.
Do it,
Put your
Johnny.
name in there. Put your name in there, Johnny.
Johnny hadn't won a Z-Man pack yet, has
Yeah,
he? You need
yeah,
some.
you
You need some of these.
You just add on the glasses, man. You made
What was in there? It was like Hellraisers and Chatterbaits and all kinds of stuff in the last Z-Man pack. So we'll take care of you.
Yeah, Randy said it's about time to bring Greg back on. I agree. Greg's a great guest, and we need to do another content show with Greg. And I wanted to bring John Dalton, Creek Fishing Adventures from up Knoxville way, on as well. So maybe we can have him and Greg on talk YouTube stuff.
Let's do it.
All right, what do you think? Ready?
I'm ready.
We're up to 73 entries. Let's hit this thing. Here we go. Da da da. It's always, I need some music for this.
DJ,
This is going to be right.
DJ Williams, cue us up some raffle music.
Burn. Pissart. Oh, I can't say that. Burn. Congrats, Burn. Congrats, Burn.
Bernie Jr. in the house.
Big Burn
Yes,
from YouTube, from over on YouTube. Appreciate you, Burn. So there you go. Get with us, kayakbassnation@gmail.com or DM either one of us on Facebook.
Damn. Trey with the smoke, boy.
It's true.
Oh,
It's true.
hey, them NARS, they'll seduce you, man. People get real into those NARS for about a month or two. Then they're back. So
Yeah, we'll see it on Marketplace. Be watching Marketplace close. Be watching. There you go, man. Good show tonight. Like you said, big one with the West Coast coming in with the views tonight, watching the show. And I noticed on YouTube, we did pick up like 5 or 6 viewers from Anthony's channel. They were watching live. So if you're watching from Anthony's
channel supporters, we appreciate that.
Come on over and subscribe to us and watch the next show that won't be on Anthony's channel. But we appreciate you over there and we appreciate Anthony taking the time. So
Josh Evans likes his NAR. He ain't getting rid of it. We know, Josh. We know.
I know, Josh.
You ride for the squad.
We love you, Josh. NAR or no NAR. Yeah, good stuff. Anything else, Ryan, before we let everybody get out of here?
That's it, man. Let's good luck to those fishing Seminole. I'm on the fence. Kenzo's got her regional tournament, so I may have to roll that entry over to Kentucky. So we'll see.
There you go. All right. Love y'all. We're gone.